In the quiet town of Slaughter, Louisiana, where everyone knows their neighbors and life moves at a gentle pace, a horrifying discovery shattered the community's sense of peace.
We begin with a case that has been hard for even the most seasoned investigators to forget: the death of Lacey Fletcher.
On January 3rd, 2022, first responders answered a 2 a.m. emergency call to find 36-year-old Lacey Ellen Fletcher's body, or what remained of it, fused to a living room couch. This wasn't just a death. This was a slow, agonizing deterioration of a human being, hidden behind the walls of what appeared to be an ordinary home in an ordinary neighborhood. Today, we explore how a vibrant young woman with hopes and dreams ended up abandoned on a couch for over a decade, literally melting into the furniture while still alive, as those who should have cared for her went about their daily lives just feet away. Lacey Fletcher wasn't always the victim of one of Louisiana's most disturbing cases of neglect. Those who knew her as a child describe a different person entirely. Growing up in East Feliciana Parish, young Lacey attended Brownsville Baptist Academy, where classmates remember her bright smile and gentle nature. She was active on the school's volleyball team, enjoyed outdoor activities, and by all accounts lived the life of a typical, happy child. Former classmate Sarah Browning told local reporters Lacey was sweet, always kind to everyone. She was a bit shy, but she lit up during volleyball practice. School photographs from this period show a healthy, smiling girl with her whole life ahead of her. There was nothing to suggest the horrific fate that awaited her. The transformation began during Lacey's teenage years. What started as typical adolescent anxiety evolved into something more concerning. According to court testimonies, Lacey began exhibiting signs of social withdrawal around age 14. Her parents, Sheila and Clay Fletcher, respected members of the community, claimed Lacey's autism spectrum disorder, and social anxiety worsened dramatically after incidents of bullying in high school. Robert Blades, a neighbor who lived just down the street, told the Daily Mail, "She was always thin, and saw her occasionally carrying small weights while walking on the roadway, exercising. But then, something changed. One day, they just didn't see her anymore." Around 2007, Lacey vanished from public view. Her parents withdrew her from school, claiming they would homeschool her instead. No one in the community would see Lacey Fletcher again for 15 years. Not until authorities made their grim discovery. What investigators found on January 3, 2022, haunts them to this day. Lacey Fletcher's body was discovered on a couch in the living room, sunken into a hole worn through the fabric and cushioning. Her emaciated frame weighed just 96 pounds. Her body was covered in feces and urine, with severe ulcers that had eaten through to the bone. Maggots were present in her wounds, while she was still alive. East Feliciana Parish Coroner Dr. DeWitt Bickham, who has dealt with countless death scenes in his career, was visibly shaken when describing what he witnessed. The scene was sickening, and never seen anything like it in his 30-year career. This poor young woman died from severe medical neglect. Forensic analysis revealed something even more disturbing. Lacey had been confined to that same spot on the couch for approximately 12 years. The cushioned fabric had become fused with her skin as her body literally melted into the furniture. Medical examiners determined she had developed COVID-19 in her final days, along with multiple bacterial infections. The official cause of death was listed as severe chronic neglect, and her manner of death was classified as homicide. What explanation could Sheila and Clay Fletcher possibly offer for their daughter's condition? When interviewed by investigators, they painted a picture of a daughter who refused help, claiming Lacey would become agitated when they suggested medical intervention. They described her as having locked-in syndrome, a rare neurological disorder where a person is conscious but unable to move or communicate. However, medical experts quickly dismissed this explanation. Dr. Bickham noted that someone with locked-in syndrome would be physically unable to feed themselves or move at all. Yet, evidence showed Lacey had been consuming part of the couch cushion over time and could shift slightly. Perhaps most disturbing about Lacey's case is how a community failed to notice one of their own slowly dying in plain sight. The Fletchers weren't reclusive. Clay Fletcher worked at a local nuclear energy plant, and Sheila Fletcher served as an assistant to the city prosecutor in Zachary, Louisiana. Sheila was also involved in the local community, having served as a town alderman. They regularly attended church, hosted gatherings, and maintained normal social lives, all while their daughter deteriorated in their home. The truth about the 911 call that finally ended Lacey's suffering adds another disturbing layer. According to court testimony, Sheila Fletcher didn't call emergency services voluntarily. A neighbor had stopped by unexpectedly, glimpsed Lacey's condition, and threatened to call authorities if the Fletchers didn't do so immediately. Only then did Sheila make the call, reporting simply that her daughter was not breathing. The images from the Fletcher home were so disturbing that when the grand jury was presented with the evidence in May 2022, they took just 30 minutes to return an indictment for second-degree murder against both Sheila and Clay Fletcher. In a surprising turn, the Fletchers' attorneys negotiated a plea deal in March 2023, reducing the charges to manslaughter. Both parents were sentenced to 40 years in prison, effectively a life sentence for the couple in their 60s. At sentencing, Judge Catherine Jones addressed the Fletchers directly. As parents, you had one sacred duty: to protect your child. Instead, you allowed her to waste away in conditions that no human being should ever endure. The court can think of few crimes more heartless than what you've done. Neither Sheila nor Clay Fletcher offered any statement of remorse. Lacey Fletcher's story forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about responsibility, not just of her parents, but of a community that somehow missed the signs of severe neglect happening behind closed doors. Today, a small memorial stands in the Slaughtertown Square. The plaque reads simply, "Remember Lacey Fletcher. May we never again fail to see those who need our help." As one resident put it, "We all drive by houses every day, never knowing what might be happening inside." Lacey's story teaches us that sometimes asking uncomfortable questions might save a life. But the questions her case raises remain. How many others are suffering in silence? And what is our responsibility to those hidden from view?